Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxie Fernip, and this is my battle for Season 4, D1, Week 10 versus Paul, aka Paulie Mac. He coaches the Thunderbolton Wanderers. So check him out. Link will be down below. Also, thank you to Kelly for recording my side of the battle, and thank you to Blue Rogue again for joining my team. Rogue's just an awesome lad. He's just always there, always able to gen my stuff, and it's awesome. So yeah, shout out to Rogue and Kelly and Paul for all being cool. Check out George as well. I'm taking over his team, the San Francisco Arcaniners. If you don't already know that, this is my third battle in the PPL. Just taking over his team for the rest of the season. And I only have this battle and my battle next week versus Kelly left. So I'll have done 4 battles in total once I finish those. So yeah, not much else to go into. So I'm just going to read off my roster just in case if you don't know it. But I have Mega Absol, or I'll read off in the order that it's drafted. I was looking at the battle screen there, but I'll look at my draft, just my whole draft here. So I have Jirachi, Salamence, Azumarill, Dugtrio, Mega Absol, Porygon 2, Midnectric, Hitmonlee, Typhlosion, and Frostlass. And Paul's team, I'll probably put that on screen, just a little screenshot. It's got Latios, Manaphy, Zapdos, Registeel, Embar, Crocodile, Hitmonchan, Garbodor, and Florges. So definitely got a really scary team. It was really tough to build for that. Really tough. Just like, even though we only have 9 Pokemon, it was still really tough because just like, pretty much whenever I try to get a check or something that can deal with one Pokemon, that means some other Pokemon on his team was a bigger issue to my team. Then if I tried to like fix that hole on my team, then something else was an issue, and then it was just like an endless cycle, and it was very tough to build. But I ended up with a pretty decent team that I feel like was pretty good in this match. I'm not too much of a fan of this team that I've been given by George. I made the one transaction dropping Mega Sableye, picking up Mega Absol. I feel like that helped a bit offensively. Didn't help defensively, but I'm not too much of a fan of this draft, but I think I'm making it work. I'm doing okay. I'm building decently and having competitive battles, at least. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go over my team somewhat quickly. I don't know. First, with my Mega Absol set, I have Knockoff, Swords Dance, Protect, and Sucker Punch. Not max speed. Almost max speed, so we can outspeed his Latios, which he did not bring actually, but. So I wanted a Sword Dance. With this, I can mainly Sword Dance against the Registeel, or like a Zapdos or something. That'd be really nice to do that. That could be helpful. Then I could just start going for Knockoff, and that's just my closest thing to a nuke button there. I could have had Play Rough or something in that last slide over Sucker Punch, but I wanted Sucker Punch because I figured he could still have his Scarfer alive in like the late game, and if I am at +2, I can hopefully do a good chunk with a Sucker Punch and then weaken things down. So that's the plan there with Mega Absol. Yeah, so next we have Salamence. This is just a Life Orb wall-breaking Salamence. I had a defensive Salamence at first to switch into things like Emboar and Crocodile and maybe Hitmonchan if you brought it, which actually did. But the set I have here is Draco Meteor, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Iron Tail. So yeah, Life Orb, Intimidate, Max Speed, and Naive. Or, I believe Naive, right? Yeah, Naive. So I can speed tie with his Manaphy. Then just Draco, EQ, Rock Slide, Iron Tail, as I said. It's just good coverage for his team. Lets me hit things like Florges, Zapdos, Earthquakes for Registeel. Draco's just Spamble versus everything else. Just nice mixed wall breaker there. As I said, yeah, 3 physical attacks and then a Draco Meteor as a special attack. So if I lower my special attack with that, then it's not a big deal that I have my special attack lowered. So my dogs are in the background there, might have been able to hear them. I don't know. So that's a solid set there. The next we have a Life Orb Hitmonlee. So 2 Life Orb users here. Just some nice wall breakers to help deal with his bulky walls like Florges and Registeel and stuff. And also kind of Zapdos. But I have High Jump Kick, Mach Punch, Stone Edge, and Sucker Punch. So High Jump Kick with the Reckless ability and Life Orb hits really hard. It almost 2-KOs Florges. I think it's a roll. If he's lefties, it isn't. I think it's in his favor to knock it 2-KO. Or actually, I think even without lefties, it most likely won't 2-KO. I could have had Poison Jab, but I feel like I want Stone Edge a little more just for these Zapdos, because it helps me. It helps me have another check to Zapdos, which is nice. Yeah, then enough speed outspeed like Hitmonchan or something. I think like Adamant Hitmonchan, and I have Adamant. A little bit of defense there. The next we have a Manectric, just a Zap Plate set there. We have Volt Switch, T-Bolt, Signal Beam, and Toxic. Signal Beam was to hit the Crocodile a little harder than T-Bolt, and Volt Switch, just nice electric stab, and I can just pivot around his things and just get some little chip damage and stuff. Toxic, mainly meant for Zapdos or Florges. If he does not have Heal Bell, it could be really, really nice to have the Toxic there and just whittle that thing down. And almost max speed, just outspeed like Manaphy. and his other base 100s. Next we have Azumarill. This thing was a interesting set. We had a Citrus Berry, but we were not Belladrum. This was kind of to bluff the Belladrum set, sort of. Like, if he knocks off my Citrus Berry, because this thing will be my best kind of switch in for a Crocodile. So any kind of set, like maybe a Life Orb set, or like a Black Glasses or Scarf or something. So it'll be my best switch into that. It can take a knockoff pretty well, and with him knocking off my Citrus Berry, you'll probably think I'm Belladrum. And I mean, I'm still the same kind of set as Belladrum. I just don't have a Belladrum. I just have 4 attacks. Power Punch, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, and Waterfall. Just good coverage for his team. The Power Punch is nice to help me to KO Florges and to beat Registeel 1v1, or just get more damage on Registeel. It's just nice and helpful and cool, and a little bit of speed to creep Registeel. And then just max attack, Adamant, and then the rest in HP. Last set we have Jirachi. This was a very interesting set. We have Calm Mind, Wish, Protect, and Moonblast. So running a mono Moonblast Jirachi, I really wanted Side Shock in this thing. I had Side Shock over Protect. I had that so I can hit Zapdos a little harder and hit like Emboar and Florges mainly. That was a big thing to hit that a little harder. But I feel like I need to be able to Wish and heal safely, so I can switch in and take on Zapdos. Maybe switch in and take on like Florges. I mean, I'll still EFS from Florges either way, but still, it's just nice to be able to guarantee my healing up there. And I have Max Speed and Timid to outspeed, or to speed tie the Manaphy, and a lot of Spadef and a decent amount of HP. It was for like for Zapdos, something for I forget. I think so I don't get 2 KO by Heat Wave, I think, something like that. I forget. Then I'm holding a Cobra Berry in that last slot, in my item slot. I mean, that's for the Crocodile, so I cannot get Pursuit trapped. I mean, I can get trapped, but it won't do as much. And also a knockoff won't do as much, which I feel like knockoff would be like the safest play if he thinks I'm going to switch out. So that's why I have Cobra there, and Moonblast can 2 KO, or it 2 KO is an offensive Crocodile. I had to think about it for a sec, but yeah, it does. So my plan here was lead with Mega Absol, so that if he leads with Registeel, we're going to be Crook. I can stop that thing from sitting at Rocks first turn. So that was a nice little idea there. Also, I can just get off my Mega and not have to worry about it later. So he leads with Zapdos, as I lead with my spooky dog boy here. So nice and shiny. I don't know if I really meant for it to be shiny, but I think it was Gen Shiny. It was Gen Shiny either way, so it is what it is. So I'm just gonna Mega here and get off my Mega, and then I think I Protect, just get off my Mega and just scout what he's gonna do. So he goes for the U-turn here. Okay, yeah, I think about it. Yeah, he does go for the U-turn there. As I thought he would go for T-Bolt, maybe Heat Wave there. But so here I go into Salamence because I guess it's my safest play. Because I don't it's hard to switch out there because he can just go for that, and then he'll get off chip damage on anything I bring in, and then he gets to bring in whatever he wants. So that's the bad thing about him going for that. So I go into Salamence thinking he might U-turn again. He might do something else. So he roosts there. I think it was a misclick, he said. I think he meant to click U-turn. So here I go for Rock Slide. This was a little bit of a misplay. I think I should have switched out and do Jirachi and scouted if he had HP Ice, because if he stayed in, he most likely has HP Ice. If he switches out, he most likely does not have HP Ice. So I go for the Rock Slide here. It does around half, proving that he is physically defensive, as I expected, and HP Ice. So I think it was a roll. But yeah, I do flinch him. So he did stay in and click HP Ice there, which I did not know, or like he told me that he did. So really unlucky and really unfortunate for him that I did flinch him. I feel kind of bad, but I can just go for the Draco here and knock him out, as I think a Rock Slide was a roll, and I mean I could have missed that, but I could have also missed Draco. But Draco had a better chance of killing, so I just go for the Draco there and knock him out. So we're up 6-5 pretty early, which is awesome. Feel bad about the hacks, but it is what it is, I guess. I was naive, so it was minus Spadef nature. So that means after one Life Orb hit, he was most likely going to knock me out with HP Ice. So I think it was a roll heavily in his favor. It might have even been guaranteed, I forget exactly. So here let's go into my Azu, as he sets up with Sub, which is really scary and interesting. So I'm like, that's kind of bad, but that's honestly not a huge deal, because I can break it with anything here. I think Power Punch might have breaked a Sub, but I wasn't certain of his set here. So I did not click Power Punch. I think I just click Waterfall and just break his Sub. As he knocks off knocks off my Citrus Berry, so he probably assumes that I am a Belladrum set. I'm actually not, but that's kind of part of the plan to bluff the Belladrum there. So yeah, I just go for that, break the Sub. So here I think he switches out and do like Registeel or something. But yeah, he also has the leftovers, as you can see there. So I just go for the... You could go for player off, thinking he might go into Manaphy. Yeah, but he goes into Red Steel, which is fine. I get off a little bit of chip damage. I can't really scout his set too well. I think that indicated that he was physically defensive. And when not seeing leftovers, I kind of thought, like in the back of my head, he might be chokeable, but I was like, whatever, I'll still go for Power Punch just to get the attack boost. And he actually is chokeable, so that's kind of funny. So he just goes for the Iron Head here. I kind of thought he'd do that. I mean, I thought he'd set up rocks. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Where are we? I don't know what I just did. Nope, hold on, I'm sorry. Here we go. I don't know, I accidentally clicked a thing on the screen and you saw things, so ignore those little spoilers there. But, he went for the Iron Head there. I thought he'd set up rocks, so I kind of wanted to switch into Absol, but I thought that could be a little bit of an obvious switch, so I'm going for the Iron Head here. It was not a bad play on his part. Makes sense, because he might have thought that the Absol was coming in. Or just getting off damage on Absol was nice as well. So I go for the Waterfall here, trying to get off good damage. I'm hoping that I don't flinch him, because I just feel bad. And I don't, that's cool. He goes for the counter and knocks me out. I think it just barely did, like it did maybe like 10 HP over the amount of HP I had left, I think. I'm not certain of that, but like, it barely did enough to kill. But it killed, so it doesn't really matter. But he's not set up rocks yet. Interesting. He probably has rocks on this thing. Could have them on Crook, but I think he'd have him on this. So I go into Salamancer because Earthquake can just kill this thing. I think he just hacks it off. Yeah, he does. So Earthquake's gonna be able to knock this thing out. I'm taking more life up damage on Mence, which is not good because I don't like that thing getting so weak and down. But I mean, still kind of healthy, and you know, still is a nice wall breaker. So here he brings in Manaphy, I think. Yeah, he does. So here, I believe I switch out. Yeah, I go and do Manectric, thinking he'll go for the Ice Beam. I think he Scalds actually, and that's one thing this team really has struggled. This team really struggles with is having a good switch into Scald. So don't do a Grass type. George did have Tangrowth, but he dropped that for either Dugtrio or Frostlass. Or yeah, he dropped it. Yeah, he dropped Tangrowth and Crustle for Dugtrio and Frostlass in that transaction a couple weeks ago. That was right before I got this team. But yeah, so I don't have a Grass type, so switching into Scald is a little bit of an issue for this team. But I do switch into I do switch into this thing as he Scalds, and he did not get the burn. I think I just T-Balls here, maybe Volt Switch. Yeah, I Volt Switch. He goes in this thing. I kind of thought he might, but I thought, I don't want Manaphy to set up on me, and if he Scalds and gets a burn, then he kills me. So I want to make sure I get off good damage on that thing first. So he brings in this thing, and I think I go back into Salamence, not Hazard, Salamence, as I think he did he Earthquake, might have knocked off. I think he goes for knockoff, yeah. So I could have switched into Azu, but I guess I was streaming the Earthquake, so, and I think Earthquake 2 KO'd, so that was scary. As he goes for knockoff, and he's back at almost full health. Now, by the way, from that damage calc and from the knockoff earlier on Azu, I can tell this thing looks pretty bulky. It looks like it does not have any attack investment, so I was really not sure what the set is. I thought maybe it's max HP, max speed, or like close to max speed. I'm really not sure what it is. So here I just go for Earthquake, I think, just getting off damage because it's my safest play, because I don't have Dragon Claw or anything, and I don't want to Draco and lower my special attack. So here, now I go for Earthquake. It does, you know, a good chunk, like 35%. Now, noticing he does not have the lefties, I thought he would have the, whatever it is, the Steel Berry. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense he's going to have the, I think, Bulberry Berry? Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense that he goes into this thing and that he would have that. So I'm like, okay, that's not, maybe not obvious, but it's pretty clear to me, I think, that he is that berry. So I don't want to click the Iron Tail because he'll live and he can, I think, knock me out with Moonblast, so that's scary. So I think I just go into Rachi here as he, I think, just Moonblast. He might have, what did he do? No, he synthesizes, whatever. That was an interesting play. I guess he assumed that I would, I guess he predicted that I would assume that he has the berry, so, I mean, it was kind of obvious there, so I guess it makes sense, because if I stayed in and then, went for that, then I would have been able to 2-KO him with the Iron Tail, I think. So that was interesting on his part, but, I mean, I would have had to hit both anyway, so, it is what it is. I just call mine as he goes for the Hidden Power, other ground or fire, it doesn't really matter. He does, like, nothing, because Drachi is fat, and is at +1. So things are looking good for me here. I think I wish here, just to try to stay healthy, and if he switched into this, that'd be okay. So I go for the wish here. I'm like, alright, okay, cool. I'm at almost max health, so I don't need to, okay, I think I click Moonblast here, just trying to get off damage, engage his set, and just, yeah, Moonblast 2 KOs I think 2 KOs a max HP Crocodile. So I'm like, okay. So I just go for or no, it easily took as a max HP Crocodile. But looking at that damage calc, he's max HP, max the def, and I'm just like, whoa, that's interesting. That's pretty cool set. That's really interesting. So here I'm like, okay, Earthquake definitely, I don't think it kills because he should not have any attack investment, so I should be able to live this. Then I'll be at a decent amount of health after the Wish. So I'm at a good amount of health after this Wish. But after his leftovers, he's at a range of health where I might be able to kill with Moonblast. I can't really tell. I think it's a roll. I think it's in my favor, judging off that last Moonblast, but I think I might have got a little bit of a high roll on that last Moonblast. I'm really not certain what his exact EV set, or what his exact EV spread is here, so I make a safe play just go into Salamence, because the Earthquake is his obvious play. I was hoping he would go for knockoff last turn, because I have the Colbur, so I can take that better, but he Earthquake, and he goes for the Earthquake again, so good thing he'd not go for knockoff. I think I do live the knockoff, though, because he's at -1 attack, and I do not have an item anymore. So here, he switches out, I think back into Florida, no, into Manaphy, because I think Florida's coming in, so I go for the Iron Tail. I do land it, doesn't really matter too much because it's Manaphy, but it does matter because they get the defense drop, which is really unfortunate for him. So I do like 10%, and I mean, it does so little, I can't really use that to gauge his set too much. It looks like he's pretty bulky, though. And so here, I just go for the Earthquake, because I'm trying to get off damage and don't want this thing to get off a free Tail Glow. So I get a crit there, which is really unfortunate, and after the -1, or after the drop on first defense, so that's really unfortunate for him, because he probably should be at a lot higher of a health, and be at like 70% maybe, but he's at like 50, which is really unfortunate. So here, I know he has to click rest, and this is really scary, because this thing looks like looks like it's max physically defensive, and looks like it's going to be the Calm Mind, Rest, Rain Dance set, so that's scary. So I go into this on the rest, as I knew he would have to. So he rests, and then he'll be back at full health, and he will not be asleep because of the rain, so that's good for him, not good for me. So here, I know I have to click T-Bolt, or just Electric Move here, because he could switch out, but I feel like he is going to stay in, and just click Scald and knock me out, as he does. I actually get the para, which did not matter, because I didn't get the full para. Thankfully, I would have felt really bad. I mean, I already kind of feel bad, because I've gotten a good amount of hacks on him, which makes me feel kind of bad. I mean, it doesn't matter, because he gets healed anyways, and he didn't get full para at all, or he did not get full para that turn, so it didn't matter at all. That para did not matter. Other things did, though, which is unfortunate. But I go into Mega Absol here. I can just click Knock Off. He could switch into Fortress, but I could knock off his Berry, and then Iron Tail, and I think that'd kill. I do not have Iron Tail, but he might think that I do. He probably does think that I do. You see Knock Off and Protect, so that's all I see on this thing. He brings in Hitmonchan here, which is interesting. Or, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know, it was interesting that he brought it, but actually kind of makes sense for my team, kind of looking back on it. But I go into Salamence here, thinking he can call Mach Punch, maybe Drain Punch, if I can live either. I think I can live a Mach Punch plus a Drain Punch, so that's cool. He goes for Mach Punch, gets some damage off, I suppose, as I think I click Earthquake here, or no, I double into Jirachi, because I'm thinking, alright, it's at -1 attack. It shouldn't really have anything to hit Jirachi. We could have Earthquake, maybe, even then. I don't think that too it goes. Oh yeah, I go into this thing just scouting for the Ice Punch, as he does have Ice Punch, or thinking he might switch in for just, I think that was my thought there. So I wish here, as I think he just Drain Punches, and since he's at -1 attack, it does like nothing, and I eat that up pretty well. So here, I Protect here, because I need to, because otherwise I would just die. So, yeah, Drain Punch, no, it does not attack me, or does not hit me, because I Protect. So here, this is where a bit of the Wish Protect stalling starts. So I just go for Wish. I thought he'd switch into Crook here, but he doesn't. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. So this goes on for a bit, I believe. Yeah, we still have, there's still like 3 minutes left in the battle. But, so here he switches out. So this is where I go for Moonblast, I think, and just go for damage. I wanted to click Calm Mind, just to boost my special attack. But I thought, you know what, 2 neutral Moonblast, or 2, I guess, no special attack. 2 Moonblasts with no special attack raise will do more than 1 Moonblast at +1. So that's why I go for 2. That's why I go for Moonblast there, because I should be able to do a KO Crocodile. It's going to be close, I think, but I'm pretty sure it'll still kill. I think. It looks like it. It looks pretty good. I think it did like 30% minimum, like 30 to 35 maybe, and he's at like 25% it looks like, so that should kill, and it does. We finally get rid of that Croc. So here, the score is, I think, 4-2, I want to say. I'm not certain. I have Salamence, Jirachi, Mega Absol, and Hitmonlee left. Yeah, because my next can Azu die. Or did Azu die? Yes, Azu died, right. Yeah, and he has Hitmonchan and Fortress. So, I go for the Wish as the Drain Punches, and it does like right around half. It does like right under half from the damage calc. So I just Wish Protect, and this goes on for a bit. I think I try to like Calm Mind in his face and then Moonblast and get off damage. Yeah, this is where Moonblast. I should have wished and then Moonblasted the next turn. I guess the crit could have mattered then, but I mean the crit would have mattered regardless because the next turn I need to wish and it's just a bop. So here, yeah, Moonblast does like nothing. I'm like, oh shit, that's AV. I wish here, and then I protect the following turn, I believe. I just gotta hope he does not get a crit here. I can win this war eventually, 1v1, I think, so I can probably stall him out of Drain Punches eventually. But I don't want to do that, and I'm gonna try to avoid that if I can. So here, I protect here, just get myself back up to a decent amount of health. So I think I switch out after this turn. I want to say, yes, this is where I switch out into Immense, because I can live a Drain Punch, which is cool. So I go right into Immense, and then with the Intimidate, he'll be at -1 attack, which is really helpful, because then Jirachi can eat up hits, and then it can set up on this thing pretty well. So, Drain Punch does not enough to kill. I live, so looking at Calc Mach Punch kills, though, I mean, he goes for Bolt Punch. Either would have killed, so I should have switched into Jirachi there, because then he's a -1 attack, and Jirachi can set up on this thing. And also, if he switches out into Fortress and tries to bring this thing back in later, I can switch into Immense, give him the -1 attack, and then Jirachi can set up on it again. So I should have switched out into Jirachi there in hindsight, but it's alright, because we're still at 3-2. It's looking okay if Jirachi can beat this thing 1v1. If Jirachi can beat that thing and he does not get a timely crit against me, then I can win, because I know my Jirachi can beat his Florges, unless if he's Calm Mind and gets kind of lucky with crits and rolls and stuff. But I just go into Hitmonchan there to check that Hitmonchan, because Mach Punch from him will not OHKO me. I do for high jump kick there because it would kill the Hitmonchan, and it actually does 2KO the Florges, which he was like almost max of his death. I think he had like a bit of like 30 spit F maybe or something, and then like the rest in defense. But the roll was not in my favor to 2KO. It was maybe a 20-30% chance to 2KO, and that was if I hit both my high jump kicks, which is a little. I mean, hitting both my high jump kicks is in my favor, but like getting the 2KO was unfortunate for him. But here, just goes for Mach Punch. I live it, and then just I land another high jump kick, because fucking Hitmonlee does not know how to miss, and then I win in a 3-0. So I wish I had Poison Jab there, because I wouldn't have had. I mean, it would have definitely 2KO'd him, like a high jump kick plus Poison Jab, and then I wouldn't have had to risk missing, and I would have been a lot more likely to 2KO. But I do win either way, so that's cool. We are 1-2, like myself, I'm 1-2. We took over a 4-3 record from George, so now we're 5-5. We've gotten ourselves back up to 500 after falling down to 4-5, and now we're 5-5. And we have like a +4 differential because George had a pretty good diff. So we're at like +4 now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so there was a lot of hacks in this game, so I do feel bad for Paul, because I know he has had a lot of hacks against him this season, and that is just really unfortunate, and I feel bad. I guess it is how it is, or it is what it is. Really, like the Rock Slide flinch from Salamence early. I mean, I feel kind of bad about that, just because I should have made a better play and switched out into Jirachi there, or like, I mean, the Iron Tail, me hitting it, I mean, that's not a huge deal, but then like getting the defense drop and getting the crit with Earthquake, it forced him to rest. And then that was really bad for him. Then hitting all 3 high jump kicks there, that was that wasn't like hacks against him, that was just, I mean, if I missed one, that wouldn't really be like hacks against me though, because it would be kind of fair, considering all the other hacks, that was in my favor. If I missed one, I think I still would have won, because I think Jirachi could have beaten the Hitmonchan, and I could have just Wish Protect and Wish Protect and Wish Protect, and I think I could have stalled him out of Drain Punches, and I think then I can just eat up any hit, like a Mach Punch. I can just eat that up for days, and then beat the Hitmonchan, and then I can also beat the Florges. So hitting the high jump kicks was not as big of a deal as like the Salamence hacks earlier. But Salamence is a beast. Salamence got like 3 kills this game. Let me double check. I already put him down on the dock, which the fans slash the viewers don't have access to, which I did not know at first. But yeah, Salamence got 2 kills this game, that's right. Salamence got 2, Hitmonlee got 2, Absol got his first kill, and Jirachi got 1 as well. Yeah, Jirachi got his first kill for me, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, this is gonna wrap it up for me. Sorry, these videos are kind of long. Just I talk about my team for a little bit at first, and also like these battles are pretty long. Like again, this is a pretty offensive team. This wasn't as long as my battle last week for Lars, but like I didn't really have any walls in this team. Like I mean, Jirachi was a wall. That was a bulky mon. That was, but outside of that, I had a pretty offensive team. Two just wall breaking users with a life orb. So that was, it was interesting how it was kind of long battle, but. It is what it is, and we beat Paul, so we get our first win in the PPL, which is pretty cool. So we're not totally terrible. We're doing okay. Next week we play Kelly, and that game has huge impacts on the championship because he right now is at the top of the standings, and he right now is in the position to win the championship. But I think Mono also has a chance if Mono wins by big enough differential, and I beat Kelly by big enough differential. Then Mono can win, but Kelly's still in a pretty good position to win it all. So hopefully Kelly can win because he's a cool dude, but I mean Mono's also cool, and everyone else is cool. Anyways, check out Paul, check out George, and all the other lads down below. I'll see you guys next week with the battle versus Kelly, which should be a good one. Or not next week. I don't know when it is. Maybe a couple days from now. We'll see when it is. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'll see you guys eventually with another PPL game. And yeah, bye-bye.